me man, he's a millionaire. He just give me money. I don't take, I say plenty money. She say wait, money by the buckets because I ain't love him, I won't take it. Don't doubt me. If I tell you something, there I go ball. He does give me motor cars and all, and he watching me straight in the eye. Oh my lord, that woman could lie. She damn lie. I haven't a thing to give Elsina, but yet she says she loved her. I said, darling, you can't fool me because no love without money. Men like Henry Ford and Paul Getty have money that they could full up the sea. So don't try to fool up my brain with lie. You know the woman is across and they start to cry. She say they give money, I don't take. I say plenty money. She say wait, money by the buckets because I ain't love them, I won't take it. Don't doubt me. If I tell you something, there are you go ball. They just give me motor cars and all, and she watching me straight in the eye. Oh Lord, that woman could lie. She down lie.
Sorry about that, of course. A very good night to all and sundry, East, West, North, Central, of West Tobago, and wherever you are. Alright, so I know how to do that. Right, good. Let's start again. A very good night to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, of West Tobago, and wherever you are. Streaming on Worldwide Web, a pleasant good day to you. This is, yes, the what? The Monday edition of a new week of September of the Corridor Transformation. And yes, indeed, of course, by the background music, well, you know the topic has to be, of course, all about lies, and whether or not it is functional in certain circumstances as opposed to others. You know, there are people who talk about situational ethics and moral and ethical standards and commitment and dedication. Well, we're going to look at some of that tonight, to wit, of course, Joshua. I'm not going to be as long as I was last night because I had to explain why we are having a program like this with, of course, the young folks involved. I want to say, however, I'm expecting a very young lad tonight. He came this morning, said last night he saw the program, he and his father, not too far from here, and I invited him, and the father, of course, told me that he wanted to meet with me because he would have known that I would have been on the ground report this morning, and I shook the young lad's hand. Couldn't be further than maybe second year thereabout, or first standard for the highest. But the fact is that he was here and he admired what Joshua has been doing. Joshua has been doing, and of course the others, and therefore he thought that he could do it too. And that is what we wanted to achieve and accomplish. We wanted to tell the young people that they can do this too. That they can be on TV too, they can be on social media too. And because they have the power of speech and a brain in their head, and with no intimidation and non-encouragement, telling them, well, you know how stupid you are and all of that. None of that, no. Because I've always said that when you call in on the program, for example, big man, big woman, mature, not mature, academic, non-academic, this is about, of course, communication. It has nothing to do with grammar, so that whether you express yourself with what is called green verbs, blue verbs, orange verb, is irrelevant on the corridor transformation. What we want are ideas to transform and to generate an attitudinal paradigm shift that will take us out of the morass of paradigm paralysis. That is what we are talking about, yes. So I think I would have had enough introduction here. Let me just introduce, of course, and ask him a few questions as well, because I know that he went to school today. and I don't know what transpired. We'll quiz him about what transpired, if he did any work at all, and if not, why. All of that. But of course, I've been asking him to move his hands from his face because, of course, you want to see his face, right? And of course, he has to be professional, as we always say. He's not feeling well again today. Yes, he and his mother seem to have this protracted under the weather scenario. Protracted. I mean, there's nothing we can do but wait until, of course, it has run its course. So I think that is what is happening here. But let's hear him introduce. How are you tonight, son?
I am kind of. Well, I am sick, but.
Talk loud.
I might still manage. That's all.
Okay, all right. And you did anything today in schoolwork wise, or is it that I know that we had to, we got a call from the school and we had to, your aunt had to retrieve you. So let's say what transpired there?
No, my sister.
Your sister? Oh yeah, your sister. Yes. Sorry about that.
I have an aunt. I have an aunt who I'm a sister name. Well, my sister, I'm an aunt name.
But it's a sister that came for you today. All right. Sorry about that. My mistake. You see how you can be corrected, and he's correct, so I have to accept that. Anything else that you did that is of significance? Because we want to get you off quickly so that you can go and continue your rest. It's called recovery, or a big word for it, convalesce. Convalesce. To recover from an ailment. Convalesce. But go ahead.
Well, today I was doing work, and that's when my head started hurting me. As I'm about to finish the work, I just felt sick. I told the teacher, and I didn't end up finishing the work.
All right. What were you doing at that time? What was it?
It was the first lesson of the day, mathematics.
Okay. And what it was all about? Was it adding, takeaway, subtraction, multiplication, fractions? What?
Place value.
Play what?
Place value.
Place value or place value. Okay. So if you get a number, let's say 102. What is the value? What would be the value of 2 in that number?
Ones.
Ones, yes. In our days, we call it units, but they just call it ones. So, yes, and the 0 will be what? What value?
0.
Yeah, 102. So, the 0 in the 102 will be what?
Oh, you mean you ones?
No. How much I told you for is not 102? And you told me the value of 2 in it is 1s, right? So I'm asking you now the value of the 0 now, 102. 102 is 1 and 0 and 2. So what's the value of the 0? It marks what?
I can't understand anything.
Well, ones, tens, hundreds, not so? Right. So the value of the 0 in the 102 will be what? What placement that will be in? Ones, tens, hundreds, not so? So it could be what?
Tens.
Tens, that's right, yeah, that's right. I mean, if you know the thing, say now, man, and done with that, yes, the value of it in that particular number will be, of
I
course.
just don't understand what you're saying. My brain kind of foggy right now.
His brain is foggy right now. This boy had talks too bad, you know. I had to watch he might take over this program just now. His brain is foggy at this point. Well, we know he's sick, so we'll give way better. Because I know that we did that already, and therefore he would have known it. So I suppose the fact that he is under the weather has created some challenges for him. Let me put it that way. Anything that you want to share with the audience before you go to your short paragraph you want to read, and then of course we will you'll make your departure.
Talking about under the weather,
Yeah.
today we had a very bad season. Rain fell for like 2 hours straight, I think.
All right.
2 or 3 hours straight. I know it fell for a long time, but it just fell. The whole street was covered.
Covered with what? A sheet with stone? With what? I don't know. I want to know.
Covered with water. The
Oh,
place
covered
was
with water, right?
flooding.
Okay. Right, it's flooded, right? Okay.
The
I just wanted to
we-
make sure. Yeah.
The drain to like the middle of the white line in the road. The water was reaching there, and it had
Wow.
water all over the pavement.
So that is the extent to which those they call them slipper drain. I don't know why. They ain't even shaped like a slipper, but they call it slipper drain. So the slipper drains were overflowed and the water flowed into the road.
And today I went to get something in the shop before. Well, I went to get some I can't remember what I went to get today.
Head really hurting you, boy. You're not normally like that. I know that. You want to still read or you want to save reading for tomorrow when you're feeling a little better? Let's decide, because I mean your 15 minutes is up and you know you have to go and rest. All right, okay. He decides to go and read in spite of that. And that is the spirit, that in spite of your circumstance and you have something to do, you do it and complete. Very important. Do it and complete. That has been my motto inside here, and of course that's work, but of course in terms of the family, I've also maintained that principle. Go ahead, quickly.
Are you sure about it?
Yes, I'm sure about it, that when I say finish, you finish your work. Always, always. In fact, we got exercises after exercises in finishing. But go ahead, let's hear.
You always say finish something, but when you have to carry us to the beach, you say you was going to carry us to the beach Sunday.
Well, go ahead, tell them.
You say he was going to carry us to the beach. I counted it now. The number raised by a lot. Last time I told you 26 times. In all of my life, I want to count all of my life that I asked him.
Uh-huh.
All I calculated my whole life with.
You have to finish by now. Got all that calculation. All right, okay, people.
Alright,
People.
346
That's an exaggeration, come on. But the point I'm making here is that there's a difference between finishing and, of course, making a promise and not keeping it. That is two different things, right? So if you're doing something, finish it, right? So if I had to take them to the beach, I would have done so, and therefore that would have been a complete task. I didn't, so it is yet to be done. But the fact is that if I had undertaken that venture, that exercise, I would have completed it. That is the principle. Finish what you start. So if you have work to do, Miss give you work to do, Sir give you work to do, finish it. Make sure. And of course, there are a number of other things that you would need to make sure that happens. You will have to have the knowledge. You will have to have the ability to write if it is written material. You will have to have the ability to time yourself, and to, of course, make certain that you could be quick but correct. Very important. We will expand on some of those later down the road. But go ahead, my son. Let's hear what you have to read first today.
Captain Underpants. No, the adventures of Captain Underpants.
He loved this Captain Underpants, like it's a series of books. So he went to the library and got another series, another couple of chapters. But go ahead.
Why not?
Go ahead. Quick. We need to finish up.
Wait, but still I have more chapters to get. So don't be surprised if you see this. On the program from most nights.
All right. Quickly, let's get that paragraph or two, and that's it, or page or two.
I just go and read the first page in the whole book.
All right. Go ahead.
Chapter 1. George and Harold. Meet George Baird and Harold Hutchins. George is the kid on the left with the tie and the flat top. Harold is the one on the right with the t-shirt and the bad haircut. Remember that now.
That's it? All right. You want to show them the pictures? And what is a t-shirt? Right. So those are the two characters that that he read about. But they talk about t-shirt. What's a t-shirt?
A t-shirt is a piece of clothing that you wear.
Yes. Well, I have on a shirt. No, sorry, I have on a jacket. And is this a t-shirt? But it's a piece of clothing. But is it a t-shirt? So all clothing and not t-shirts. That's all. A t-shirt is really a jersey. All right? It's a jersey. All right. So thank you very much, Joshua. Any parting words?
Stay in school and don't get sick.
Don't get sick. That's a good one because he has to take his own advice. All right, just wait a minute. Let me make sure and of course put on the theme for tonight before of course you make your departure. Maybe of course this is not sufficient. Nothing could be completed in terms of lies and distortion and half-truth and innuendos if you don't play who? Yes, you're right. The lie man himself. So let's see if we can find the lie man himself. He has to be somewhere around here. Yes, Lord Nelson. Yes, that's the man. Yes. Yes, indeed, of course. But let's go straight to the. What is that? All right, okay. It seems as though it's a false alarm. Let's continue with some of Nelson's lying commentary. All right, let's go straight, of course, to the line. All right, good. Let's go to the lines. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Yeah, good night, doctor.
Yes, man. Good night to you, my friend.
Yeah, man. Well, seeing you and your son is like a fresh breath of air.
Thank you very much. Everybody is saying that the man is more celebrity than me, boy.
Yeah, yeah. Like I admire that vibes, you know, because is a person. You're setting the way, which is very good, you know.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're leading the way, and that is very good. Yeah.
Well, you know the area we come from or we dwell in, and you cannot, if you really want to assist and you really want to cause people to take a second look, not only of themselves, their families, their living conditions, their neighborhood, and so on, you have to set the pace. And I was very delighted this morning that a young fellow, he can be more than 7 years, who came into the studio this morning whilst I was in the ground report with his father. His father brought him in and then sat down, and I was wondering, well, why he's not off to school. I know the father. He's a young man, and he said, listen, I couldn't climb to school until he sees you, because he says that he wants to see you. So of course he saw Joshua as well. So I asked him, I said, would you want to be on the program? He said yes. I said, well, all right, well, you could come through tonight. So if he comes through tonight, even though we may have the adult segment, if you want to put it like that, but I will have to, of course, introduce him. But I think at this time, so most of them are preparing to take their dinner and then to go to sleep. So because they have a hectic day tomorrow again, school days now. Saturdays are different thing, and possibly Sunday. All right, so but the point I'm making is that we have to encourage them, and there are those, of course, who believe that somehow that must not be, and that they must be aloft of them, and they must be down there. But at the end of the day, they are the ones who are the future of Trinidad and Tobago, and we cannot waste time. I see Penelu Becker said that, Equilum said that the future of the nation is in the school bag. Of course, it shows for me a sense of myopia, meaning short-sightedness, and not nostalgia, but Jurassic, in the sense that we have gone past school bags. We're talking about the future of your country. The nation is in your computer, is in AI. That's what we're talking about. If she had only said that in addition to school bag, I would have, of course, give us some compliment. But I can't see that individual becoming a leader in Trinidad and Tobago in contemporary times, where these technology and the world, we have to adapt and adjust in order to survive in a very shark-infested world. Go ahead.
Yeah. And even things like trade, like joinery, carpentry, she's supposed to bring in all those things, not just the school bag alone.
That's right.
Bring in anything.
Yes, and
so the youth wouldn't think, well, it's just education. You can even bring in football alone.
That's right.
You understand?
And I saw as
these are things.
Sports here, in general. Go ahead. Let me just.
One thing, doctor.
Yeah.
Give me one little break here, right? I
Go
want
ahead.
to change
Yes.
the subject a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
Yeah.
Right. This butcher boy saying Dwight York, right? Supposed to resign to let the Soca Warriors get the World Cup. I want to tell Butcher, it's better he go and sell some cow or some kind of thing. Leave the man. The man doing a good job. The man trying his best. Right? Laptop behind the man. I find, doctor, the squad playing good. But
all right.
them is not robots. At times, you have to one. You have to, in sport, you have to learn to lose. That is one.
Yeah.
You have to learn to lose, and you have to strive to always be better, right? So I find like you're trying to bring down the brother man, and Dwight York, and he deserves that. You understand? Give the brother a chance. You understand? Look where the competition reach. You will go to change, and look the kind of performance against this side Curacao, right?
Curacao, okay, yeah. Yeah, we draw that one. We draw 2-2, I believe it was.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
We draw that one 2-2. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
No, we draw that one nil,
Nil
right?
nil. Okay.
And
Right. Okay.
right, look the kind of performance we come out with that second half. Well,
Okay.
that all them things you have to understand. That is our standard. It's just a matter. Sometimes you on top your game. Sometimes right. It's simple as that, right? And next thing too, you see that Jamaica match?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what they want to say. The teeth. I see.
All right.
You understand? You see that first goal? Huh? You see that first goal? I did. That is my. I could be wrong, I know, but that is my view because we did real good. We go in that fella's backyard and look how we get on.
Yes. I hear you.
That first goal was no offside goal.
I hear you. Well, I would love to hear the opinion of others.
Our second goal was no offside goal again.
All right. Well, yeah. I think that was a issue that was pointed out in the commentary and those who would have covered the match, and they made it look as though it was it was in fact a fatalistic miss, if you want to call it that, and they use it as an opportunity, I think, to decry rather than to look at the positive side. But we have a culture really of success. People will gravitate and give their last for. And when, of course, things are not as successful as one would like, they abandon you. And that to me is not good, particularly in sports. I could see that in politics, but in sports and health and family and interpersonal relations and all of that, I think because you see, you don't know where the person will end up. They may be in a position where they can help you, or if you motivate the side, for example, in the case of the Soca Warriors, sufficiently, who knows? They may well end up in all of the finals on this side of the world, so to speak, whether it be CONCACAF as the case may be. But all right. But thanks very much for that intervention.
Yeah, my brother.
Okay then. Yes. Bye bye. Yes, indeed. Well, people, of course, we wanted to look at, or we are looking at the whole question of lies and deception and so on as the theme of tonight's program is. And that is why, of course, I played the two pieces for you to get you in the mood, so to speak, as we recall and we identify those situations that was intended to deceive us, and that could only be called lies. But let's go to the line. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Lennox.
Good night to you, my friend.
This is Diego Martin inside.
Yes, man.
We have a lot to talk to on this class.
Yes. That's why I try to be as compendious as possible with Joshua. But he giving me the time of my life. I had to encourage him to depart early. But go ahead.
No, you have to the boy, man.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, sometimes you have to be lenient and sometimes you have to be inflexible. But we'll get there. He will get there eventually. Go ahead.
No, let me talk about somebody supposed to have won on time. That is CJ.
Yes, I was saying talk about that. That is, this will be his last inauguration of the new judicial term, and some announcement will be made. So it's yet to be. So I'm not going to speculate at this point. But go ahead. You have the elasticity to so do.
Looking at the approach, it's very well, Israel said he would have gone a long time.
All right.
He said he was a good jurist, but he had an appetite that for something that causes downfall. But Israel didn't tell us more. So I like to open the the closet to see what dirty linens could fall out. And you remember he partner KCR got two legal opinion to impeach him, but typical KCR, he went searching for an opinion that said otherwise.
Ah, yeah, what it is convenient to his notion of the outcome.
Right. So this man have an appetite for what, boy? And you know what I would like to happen now? A deep dive into the SAPCA report
Okay.
and to see where it lands, because the SAPCA report likewise has a nexus to the Akil Chambers issue,
Yes.
because that hasn't been fleshed out. They said
Yeah.
a lot of people who was in that party, the name didn't call, and one of the main witnesses was a close cousin to a former prime minister, a young one. So I think we should investigate that thoroughly to take out everything out of the web.
I hear you.
That is one issue. The second issue is the Jack Warner case. Apparently, it is something similar to an email gate issue. The email gate, one of the issues, there was no email, but certain people in the PNM wanted to investigate the content. Look at the Jack Warner. There was some sort of certificate given, but there wasn't any arrangement with the US. So I say, boy, I wonder if it's the same set of conspirators who wanted to root out JW, because reading the article in today's Guardian, the current CJ has asked two former AG, Taipan and Limo, to give a statement on why this was so, why they spent so much money to go down to the Privy Council, and they could have given full disclosure from earlier club, so it would have saved taxpayers' money. Now, the first court, the judge was a fellow by the name Aboud, and reading to the piece in the newspaper today, he took the evidence to face value, and he didn't do his due diligence basically on this agreement. And Jack attorneys was accessed all the way up to the Privy Council. Where is this agreement? We want to see. So it appears that full disclosure was not forthcoming, and a sitting judge might have been not basically thorough. His ability to do due diligence was haywire, because if you listen to the appeal court and by extension the Privy Council, all the judgment was based on the first court. So something is wrong with, and we have to flesh out that too, because Jack lawyers said it is possibly misbehaving public office and collusion.
Yes.
So we'll see where that goes.
Yes,
And
man.
the last piece of information,
Go ahead.
I'm asking everybody, this is the CEO of Exim Bank related to a former central bank governor that basically had a first name of Winston. I thought, I need to know more.
I hear you, my friend. I hear you always, of course, leave people wanting more. That's a good. You should be a film director or a writer or something like that, because of course you leave people in suspense. Of course, wanting more for the next occasion. You leave them drooling. All right, but that being as just for those of you, because I want to tell you that I have followed the matter of Jack Warner very, very closely. I want to tell you that also that I consider him to be a very, very dear friend, a mentor, and someone who I admire tremendously. I think he was the guy that would have given me the first look under the Pandey administration as a political leader, as a community activist, and a person dedicated to the Laventille cause. And as we see on a nightly basis, the East-West Corridor cause, but always consistent with the socio-economic and psycho-cultural realities. In other words, the similarity of circumstance along the East-West Corridor by a particular group, a major group at that, in the society that have nestled over time along the foothills and the hinterland of the Northern Range, and that we now call the East-West Corridor, the African community in particular. But let's go to the lines. Professor, good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Yes, Dr. Lennox.
Hey.
How are you going, sir?
Well, as good as could be in the circumstance. My son is a bit under the weather, so I'm a bit concerned. But outside of that, I'm feeling pretty all right.
Well, you ought to be. You ought to be as any loving parent, or, you know, you ought to be.
Yes.
But I won't be too long. I have 2 points I want to raise.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think about the opposition leader's statement concerning the grandparents? You know
yes. There is a piece of legislation before the court now to amend the appropriate one to cause the grandparents of persons who may be resident outside of Trinidad, but because the grandparent came from here, they can now play for Trinidad and Tobago football, cricket, as the case may be.
Yeah, but the full statement that she made concerning they will you see the politics came with it now, that is for you call it voter pardon, something similar.
Yeah, she said that it they're not supported because it is a mechanism for voter pardon. You see, and when she said that, I keep saying they see in others that which is in them. So they are now paranoid. Yeah, they see in others that which is in them. So they.
Well, that is the word I was just to suggest to you, that the word that you keep using all the time. They see in others which is in them.
Yeah.
Right?
The house pad, they even scholarship pad. Scholarship pad, because when they removed the 300 from the 400 open scholarship to one of bursaries nestled in a particular ministry, as was denied, I should say defied, or was rejected in the past under the Manning administration, Rowley bring it back and say it must be, and the PNM in government must determine now who must get us a bursary to go on to further education. And then, as has been the case, they open up the public service to have these people come in with their half-picked duck qualifications in order to stay in specific office to give the population problems and to keep the PNM in office. I mean, that. So she seemed to be paranoid because she is seeing in others that which is in in the PNM, and therefore what they practice and believe that everybody is cut from the same cloth as far as that is concerned. So that's they say they wouldn't support it. But I know that it will be passed in the Senate as well. So I had time to study she.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't waste time with that either because we have enough. We have enough to pass.
Yes.
Right. But the other thing is, Vishnu Danpal made a statement earlier. Expect $9 billion in a deficit, right? Budget.
Yes.
And then IMSBIT, or I'll call him Taxbird. Taxbird is saying something else. $15 billion. Expect $15 billion
Yes.
deficit. These people are gone mad.
Yeah.
So who have a place like this?
But it's as if they can absolve themselves, let me put it that way, without generating and the population and insulting the population's intelligence by somehow suggesting that they are disconnected to that notion that he has, even though the official dump say 9, he say 15, and he believed that somehow he could score political points with that kind of hogwash. I mean, they have gone mad. I agree with you. They have gone mad. They are in intellectual and cognitive decline. That's all I can say about that, in concurrence with what you are saying.
Yeah, but I wanted to accept an item to you was last night.
All right.
Right? It involves the former Minister of Energy, Young.
Okay.
It's a 5 minutes video.
I promised this
Yeah,
to do it,
well,
but I didn't take a look
yeah.
at it. I'll take a look at it.
Just listen carefully what this man is saying.
All
This
right.
man is a complete idiot, you know. And he's a big liar also. And he lied to the whole world.
Yes. Well,
Right? And that's what got me mad. He lying because he's saying that the majority of Trinidadians are well off. Right? And the money that they... Yes!
what
If
the
you
hell?
listen to yeah, we'll have a good standard of living. This man is an idiot. Right? Yeah, so you take care.
Yes, man. Thank you very much, of course, for that intervention.
right.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
And you should be angry because they have that propensity. Imagine Innsbruck have the audacity, the temerity, the gall, and the effrontery to, of course, talk that kind of hogwash when he told us in all certain terms that, of course, he can see clearly now the rain is gone, and that, of course, the economy has turned around. All that kind of bunk that turned out to be total fabrication. Caller, I'm trying to get you on the system. I know it's Mr. Looking like Mr. Trump. Let me take it. All right, let me take it here. Yeah. All right, let me take it here. Sorry about that. Call back. See that is Mr. San Fernando. Trying to get in. Sorry about that, Mr. San Fernando. I cut you off by mistake, inadvertently. All right, so call back and I will accommodate you. Trying to get that particular video as well that the caller said he sent, but I don't seem to be able to multitask as well. But of course, all right, so let's go straight there. All right, let's get it there. All right, go ahead, Mr. San Fernando, make your contribution. Just speak a little louder, that's all I ask. Go ahead.
It's the same thing I was trying to, that last caller who called there just now, it's the same thing I was trying to explain to you last night. That's what Imbert brought up. Imbert is the one who brought up that foolishness.
Oh, I see, okay.
Right? You understand?
Yes.
Now, imagine he's talking against that piece of legislation, but at the same time, right, he is not from Trinidad, right? He is from Antigua, so and I just want to draw something to you. How stupid it is.
Yes.
How stupid it is. Because if he has a grandson here in Trinidad, right, and that grandson decides that he wants to go to Antigua to play football, right? You understand?
Yes.
What would him do? Or say? You understand? You understand how foolish the whole argument is? Right? But the next thing I want to say is, I see, well, I know you're bringing on your son each night on the TV and on the program, and I want to congratulate you for that. But
Thank
the
you.
thing I want to say is an evening connection with one of the callers who called just now with the football with Dwight York. Right? Now the thing is, anything you're learning or teaching, if you have to teach, you have to learn also to inspire people.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about essentially, to especially where people are downtrodden, opportunities are not going a begging, not as is as sparse could be. You get a very few, and I'm going to make the point tonight, and you'll understand where I'm coming from. But go ahead. I don't want to interrupt your presentation. Go ahead.
Yeah, but what I want to say, I remember from when the NR won, right? There was this guy who brought up a program. I think they called it Youth Crossroads, and what that program was. The intention of the program was to train young people for life skills. But what I think the guy's name was Dexter in the Z, who brought about the program under the NAR. But what that program was doing, they were using drama to show the young people, well, if you going down a particular road, what is the possibility could happen to you? You could end up in jail, you could end up losing your life, and I think they were using experienced drama people.
Yes.
To
Mr. Faisabad, just hold on. Mr. San Fernando is on the other line. All right, I should say not the other line, but on the handset. Go ahead, Mr. San Fernando. Finish your contribution.
So they were using drama to do this, and I think that was even used in the we also used it in the White Step situation too, in the White Step too, you know. That was the drama part of it. You know, where you take a story, a real story, and you build on your story, and you show the results of a story to the kids, what can happen or what will, you know, and build on it. So, and this has helped to shape a lot of young people at that period in time when it was being done. So, you know, and I also want to say to the young people of Trinidad and Tobago today, right? Whenever you're learning something, take your time and do it. You know, you learn the basics first and then you move forward. Because if you don't learn the basics, you can't do the complicated things, you know. Some people just want to rush it, right? But you don't rush. But I am learning. You know, it's not that I'm trying now to relearn the keyboard, because I used to play it when I was in the teens. But for a number of years I stopped.
Okay.
So right now I kind of like, you know, I'm taking my time.
All right.
So it's step by step, and then you move.
I hear you. All right.
Know, so if you're doing something, you take your time. Okay, it's like doing small chores at home. When you do your small chores at home, you make up your bed, you clean your room, and you do it to the best of your ability that you can do it. You don't just half sweep a floor. You know, some people, you know, you give them a broom and you say, well, sweep this floor. Right? And you sweep a floor, and the floor not properly.
We'll have to pause there because we have two persons coming in at the same time.
Yeah. So these are my few points tonight pertaining to the young people. Take your time.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Faisabad. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Good night to you, Uncle Lennox, and to all your listeners.
Yes,
share the life. Dear Uncle Lennox, I would like to say in all and sundry, east, west, north, and south, tell the people that if they ever hear Mawagism live and innuendos, listen to Penelope Beckles, Brian Manning, and
Mr. Tagriga, just hold on, Mr. Yeah, hold on, right, good. Okay. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Mr. Faizabad. A bit confused here tonight.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all right, Uncle Lennox. I'll hang up and let Mr. Takariga talk because I want to take up more than he tried tonight.
I
So
hear
I'll
you.
call him back. Let him keep the ball going.
Okay.
So I'll call him back.
You call him back? All right, okay. All right. Somebody gave way to you, boy. You're the powerful presenter, boy. You're wielding some influence. But go ahead, Mr. Tagarigua. I hear you.
Here it is, Lennox. Two things that you talk on. You had a fella talking on television tonight. I ain't get to see who it was. But he gone back to 1920 when Lord Christo makes some Californian. Lord Christo makes some Calisto, right? But basically it's about talking about the British. Now, the mayor of Porto, I looked at you, the fella here. Because when I hear that rubbish where he talking, and they show you Columbus statue, and they said to me, he's on his new wheels. The mayor of Port of Spain, the present mayor,
yes,
tell Rowley, we must retain some of our colonial heritage or past. The mayor of Port of Spain tell Rowley that.
Yeah. I remember. But go ahead.
So I want to know if that fella thinks he's vital and he may have policy. Yeah? You must tell Rowley that. How are you going to continue on if you don't retain some of your past? Where's your starting point? You catch me, Lennox?
Yeah.
You must have a starting point. He could recreate history. Well, Joshua gone off the program. And Joshua still there, you gone off the program.
Yeah. You see me laughing because, I mean, Rowley believed that he could make history by undoing history. Go ahead.
But what I'm saying, Joshua on the program, or you go and sleep?
Yes.
Joshua go and sleep or you on the program?
All right.
No, I say Joshua go and sleep.
Yes.
Joshua go and sleep.
Mr. Laventer, just hold on. We have Mr. Tagarigua on the line.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You go and sleep?
Yeah.
Right. Because I want to know if that fella is a backside or a marble.
Okay.
So talk that stupidness. The next thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Canada passing law and legislation that all who get foreign exchange, they have to disclose it. Right? They have to disclose who get the foreign exchange. You hear me? You hear me, Lennox? Mariano gone kicking against that.
but you said all of them gone mad, you know, so you shouldn't be surprised.
But you know they are too. No. Why every man bring us a counter to that?
All right.
What are going to do for home invasion and crime?
Yes.
So what have to do with the next Lennox?
Right.
Mariano won't drink too much of validate juice. Right?
Yeah.
So the only capacity I can put Mariano wrong is
he's
either a ass or a marble. Right?
Yeah.
When you hear the news and you see to go decide tomorrow when you're talking. Right? So let somebody else go ahead for now.
I hear you.
Mariano won't drink too much of the validate juice too.
I hear you, my friend. I hear you. All right.
We can talk tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yes. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Mr. Laventil. Go ahead.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Lennox. And good night, trying to be one to everybody who's on the live. Mr. Lennox, let me first start. I'll try to make it as short and quick as possible.
Go ahead, my friend.
I want to start with the geopolitics with Mr. Lopez.
Yes.
Now, this Mr. Lopez, this so-called general from Venezuela, you threatening our country and talking about if America attack them, we will pay the consequences and all they will attack us. But how we get involved in this in the first place? Our Prime Minister make it quite clear. If all here, right, want to interfere with Guyana, our Prime Minister said she have no problem with the Americans coming here to get involved with the Guyana issue. Obviously, going involved Trinidad and Tobago to that extent, but we're not directly involved with all any war. We don't know war with all here. But you threatening we? What happened? Like the money all of us getting from Rowley and them, the money cut, so nothing for you again. You understand? That's another story. The another one is this. I see my boy Cummings, $100 million in housing, boy. Brian Manning is the next one, 125 million for some Clico asset.
For one, number one, Woodbrook Place. I understand that the commercial, all the commercial, let's say assets on the ground floor. I believe it is that is to be purchased with that money. But the question is, where that money come from, boy? How these fellas get so rich so quick? Nobody knew before they came into Rowley's P&M that they were any kind of holders of vast wealth or inherited vast amount of wealth to that degree, $100 and something million. But and even if you borrow it, you know, I mean, what capacity you have, what collateral you have, so much so to accommodate $100 and something million.
That kind of money.
We need to know. We need to know there is a nexus, there is a proximity between coming out of government and being in Rowley's administration, and of course making these kinds of investments with these large sums of dollars that they are referring to, and the fact that there are so many accusations swirling around the last administration as to the abuse and misuse of funds and the profligacy, as well as the nepotism and cronyism and rank and unadulterated corruption by the entire cabinet of which these fellas were a part.
But Mr. Lennox, listen to this now. You telling me when Rowley and them first came into office, right? Rowley stated, he made that statement quite clear that they didn't have the money and that they were owing the bank some kind of $4 million or $5 million.
Yeah, $5 million
right?
accounting, yeah. I monitored that entire narrative, yeah.
So how Cummings and them end up with all that kind of money? And far as 1.445 billion in CPEP, right? And all these kind of things. You know, this is massive corruption you're talking about, you know.
Yes.
This is massive corruption, you know.
Let me give you an anecdotal parallel in two stories, because it's the outcome, is the result to show that these people are absolutely corrupt and have been abusing the treasury of Trinidad and Tobago, raiding the treasury on a consistent basis. When there was it was not sufficient for them to say that Rowley and of course the AV drilling company, remember that in the parliament, it was the deceased minister of Energy, Franklin Khan, who said that they moved non-performing acres or acreage of oil that was drilled from a paltry amount of barrels of oil to the large amount that they were getting. Ultimately, the point I am making here is that when the then opposition leader broke the news about the fake oil matter, you know, they couldn't produce half again of what they say they was producing when Khan made a commitment that they will improve. And don't get me vexed, those who playing that they know, don't get me vexed before I play it tonight, you know, right? Take that and hush. Don't even think. The fact is that Khan said that because they drilled so much and so much, they increased, of course, the amount of barrels of oil that they were sending to the oil refinery. And when the matter of the fake oil broke, they couldn't produce the same amount at all. It was reduced to a trickle. The point I am making is as well, the other parallel is this, that Balize House, Rowley said that its members, and of course they sell what? They sell raffle tickets to build that over $100 million. Well, here what? Now that they are out of government, the project stalled. You know what I say? I said now that they're out of government, the project stall. Understand that? So there is clear evidence, even though it is by and large circumstantial because you can't find the paper trail, but common sense and the application there, which is of course a form of deduction and making conclusion in the law courts. Far less for us out here who are seeing that before our very eyes and cannot come to the inescapable conclusion that these fellas are scoundrels, that they have raided our treasury. Yes, so I thought I should raise that point. Go ahead. Let me cut off my friend here.
I was going to get it to that $140 million Tower Babel, but you get it before me. You understand?
Yes, man.
But
how they can't go further at all now? How? I thought the cell raffle to build that.
Well, I heard that Heinz sell 10 million.
Yeah, yeah. And we had to reach the ridiculous assumption that in order for them to achieve that amount of money, they had for about 3 or 4 months to close down NLCB for them to get their ticket sale. That's the conclusion. I tell you, it's a bunch of jokers who believe that they could thief, and they could thief Lambla and not be found out and be humiliated in the process. All right, I see somebody trying to get in.
Let's somebody.
We had a good laugh tonight. All right, let me just. All right, call back. Let me just take it off this system and let's get you on this system. Call back now, caller. Right, good. All right. All right, thank you, Mr. Faizabad, for being so patient. Go ahead.
A pleasant good night to you, Uncle Lennox.
Yes, man.
And Mr. Takarigua. Mr. Takarigua, I see Uncle Lennox is doing. He just cut off my phone and say, I'll call back. But anyway, Mr. Takarigua, I'll talk to you because Uncle Lennox ducked the issue tonight. Mr. Takarigua, just a few months ago, Castidoli had $7 billion to spend in the Ministry of Education. But you see, the school, over 300 bench and theater want. I want Penelope to answer that question. Then they said, Brian Manning said he's going to fight for URP workers now. But I want to ask him if the Baruda and the first and the citizen of Jamaica, the one first citizen, where $75 million. I want to pay the dividends to buy that place in Goodwood Day. I feel that $75 million. And I want to ask Brian, as I would see, Brian, call that up. Like you give back some money, a rebate, you put on your income tax. But here we're going on, Penny. I want to ask you, did you benefit substantially to your family any contract from the government, which is all right? But I want the PNM supporters to see, and the URP workers and the CPEP workers, to see when they vote and they give it all that little kakada, the kind of dakada that was going with, and how they enslaved. But here what's going on. See, the local government reform. And I want to, before I go to Arima, Mr. Lennox, I come back to you in Port State. I want to ask you that Independence Day parade, the mayor's fund, he could not clear the drain on them in Port State. That is for Independence parade, the mayor's fund, and leave the drain on them plug up. So I'm asking question today to Uncle Lexi, this doc, so I'll ask Mr. Takarigua, right, to ask in there, right, when he sell the asset and he went in to the NIS, right, and he rampaged it, where that money gone and where fiscal measures and where you pay off the debt, You leave $140-something billion on the book, you know. And Brian Manning saying, don't blame oil for the economic crash. And other telling people that it have money to pay oil. But Uncle Lennox, you just imagine, right? Stuart Young, tell the people, the supporters and them, 2028, there will be prosperity. You see? But now he want the UNC to give them everything. But just imagine the property tax, whether it will have to be paid through the snout to run the country, because in there that was the revenue stream. No job creation. But the economists on them saying that Sept and URP is the backbone of the economy. I thought it was petrotrade was beginning in the US. How much money when they cut the grass on the side of the road and they pick up the plastic bottle? How much US Simcollers get? And when petrol sell oil and gas, and the economy and the fishermen could get cheaper fuel, so the prices will be down. I want to ask Dan Paul, you was in England, and it had a European conference, and they asked why Trinidad and Tobago shellfish and fishery is not in the European market. Is that for an exchange? But here what's going on. Laws coming to make it mandatory so we can find out who gets the big amount. But you see all the depending it? That was what kidnapping and thieving and robbery. But when you put online tax on everything, and now all of accident is demerit points, I wonder. So here what's going on. I still waited for local government reform. Have a good night, Uncle Lennox.
Thank you very much. You have said such a brainful and mouthful and armful and chestful and stomachful that for the first time I hardly know where to start. But of course, in terms of highlighting some of the issues raised, but I want to raise the one where Felicia, of course, the current president of the PSA, literally told the opposition to shut up. They want to know, well, where the money came from to pay the NIB workers, remember the National Insurance Board workers, where there was a consummate, legally binding on all parties, negotiated for I think 9%, and Rowley and they flatly denied the people their monies. You know that when the decision would have been made and they will be getting their monies pretty soon, I'm sure if that has not been started already, because we are talking about 2014 thereabout. That money was outstanding, or that negotiation was outstanding, having been completed, having been ratified and certified by, of course, the Industrial Court. The question to be answered, as the opposition believe, is that was a reward for supporting the UNC and the coalition of interests. Hogwash. And it shows how pathetic these people are, how barbaric, and how obstinate, and how disrespectful they are. Let's just not waste time. This is a entitlement negotiated by the workers fair and square with their employer, the NIB, and now the government of today decides to give them their monies. They are saying that somehow is payment for support. Well, let me tell them something. I'm talking about m-15th are talking about Penelope Beckles and etc., etc. If I was Felicia, I would have said in response, I mean, she was a bit low-keyed in terms of the response. But I would have said in no uncertain terms, if supporting the UNC and the coalition of interests meant that workers, which she leads, would have gotten their monies that were outstanding almost a half a decade ago, then I am guilty. Then I'm guilty. If it's that I had to do in order for the people to get their just due and their monies, then I am guilty. Hello, little tail. What you want me to feel? You want me to feel because you say that somehow that has any, what I consider to be, traction on anybody's psyche, particularly the workers that had to wait this long, who would have had reasons and of course the need to use their monies and would have been planning, and you had this barbaric, ugly, insensitive, wicked, diabolical, dangerous and inhospitable government led by Rowley, and then of course for a very short period are talking about Young, and now of course in the opposition led by another lackey of them, or cut from the same cloth, that have the audacity to say it's because of promises made. The people work for the money. The courts in this country, the industrial court said, give them the money, and you didn't. Now a government comes and gives them it, and you talking about payment. Well done, Felicia. You align yourself with the right team. You are in the right place. And in the fullness of time, promises projected, promises promised will be kept. Will be kept. They tell me about, not like Rowley and them and the PNM, when of course they said in not certain terms. And we have to find out an appropriate expression or adjective for that kind of behavior. You came to us in 2015, apart from, and we were prepared then to forgive you, because we didn't know then it was such a dastard to the point where it could be considered to be treasonous. They're talking about the fake pieces of paper called emails. You're so desperate to go into government. But you went ahead and say you will never interfere with property tax because that is a wicked tax. You said that in the Hyatt. And then you went on to say that you will not interfere with subsidies unless you have an efficacious or efficient public transportation system. That is what you said. And then you come, as you got into office, and got all the trappings and all the mechanisms of state under your control, and then say you're introducing property tax and saying that you didn't promise not to introduce it. What are you telling me about? So, eat your heart out, vomit as you want, talk as you want, exhibit the expression of empty vessel making plenty noise. You will remain where you are in opposition, and you will be removed from opposition but into oblivion, because a new party must take over the position of our opposition in this country. And who knows, it may well be the Love Party too, you never could tell, because is any port for a storm with the PNM right now? They don't know if they're going just as Cummins, and they don't know if they're coming just as Cummins. They're telling me about. So I am clear in my mind that the level of hypocrisy, the level of dotishness, the level of obtuseness, the level of cognitive dissonance rides, saturates, and abounds in the PNM, that 12 plus 1. Cognitive dissonance. They manage themselves out of office. Their own rank and file, 100,000 of them, vote them out. But they're still looking for some kind of political traction when their currency has no value. Has no value whatsoever. Haul all your tails and get out of our faces. The hell you tell me about Felicia is getting rewarded? Well done. And if it's that what she had to do, align with the UNC and the coalition in order to get what they get, then I say to her, take 5,000-10,000 bows for a job well done. A job well done. A job well done. Imagine if she had aligned herself with the PNM, they would have had no problems, but she wouldn't have get a cent for the NIB workers. Just as how they promised the sugarcane, the rest of the sugarcane workers, the planters, the farmers, the rest of the EU money, and some of which would have come from domestic contributions from the treasury. And he only promised them, and when he gets into office, he tell them not a cent for you. Not a cent for you. And somehow, because he's Indian, you're making demands. And all they don't have already. Imagine, their money. Well done, Kamala Prasad Bisesa. You have also fulfilled that in just under or just above 100 days. Let them eat their heart out. That is how you manage public affairs. People must have confidence in you. People must take your word not just for granted, but as a solemn bond, a solemn commitment, the truth of which, and therefore the veracity of which, must not be questioned as a government, prime minister, minister of finance, etc. What we had was a bunch of conmen and conwomen in the highest executive offices in the country. That is what you had. Let me repeat. In the highest executive offices in the country, purporting to be government, the PNM was a bunch of conmen and conwomen umbrellaed or under the umbrella of a criminal enterprise clearly called the PNM. And they continue to display that mafia style, despicable conmen, conwomen disposition. And we must see them for who and what they are. Let's not waste time with that. It's important that we put things in perspective. They have no moral, ethical, or any legal right, even though they may claim some because they are the elected representatives. But that is as far as it goes. And we must accept that as a irrefutable fact, and that they are like a scent. They are immutable. They can't change. So there is no change, and therefore we must dismiss them and see them as unchangeable or immutable. That being as it may, let me of course go straight to a concern that I thought I should share with the listenership and the viewership. All 40,000 a night that we want to attract. And to say to you that what I'm talking about is a report from 2013 from the SSA, yes, the Strategic Security, the SSA, that entity that was supposed to be the equivalent of, let's say, the CIA or the FBI in the United States, SSA in Trinidad. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about it when we return from this caller. President, good night. Welcome to the corridor. President, good night. President, good night. You missed that one? All right. Well, it's nearing 9:30 anyway, but let me say this. That in addition to the record breaking year after year consecutively, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, talking about murders in this country, record-breaking murders under the PNM. There was a report that was compiled by the SSA which states as follows, but I want you to listen to it. I'm not going to read it, but I want you to listen to it. I hope that the system is working, otherwise I'll have to paraphrase it. But let's hear what that the SSA was saying. Let's see if we get it there. You say a threat to Trinidad and Tobago national security. That's the theme of that particular report.
By Reatative Express. As far back as 2023, the Strategic Services Agency, SSA, drew attention to imminent challenges implicating Trinidad and Tobago that were lurking on the horizon.
Yes, indeed, people. Since
Because of
2023.
increasing regional tensions involving the United States, Venezuela, and Guyana. The SSA's annual report for 2020 warned that these regional tensions between the U.S., Venezuela, and Guyana would inevitably affect and influence the CARICOM region's status as a zone of peace, and that it could also impact the Dragon gas field deal with Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela, as well as other existing and future Trinidad and Tobago Venezuela energy agreements. The SSA report, which was tabled in the House of Representatives on Friday, also anticipated that growing Venezuela-Guyana/U.S. tensions could lead to an increased rate of piracy.
Yes, people. 2023, you know.
And kidnappings for ransom, as well as increased threats to energy security and infrastructure. The escalation in the territorial issues relating to the Essequibo region may further compound the issues affecting Trinidad and Tobago's national security, particularly as it relates to maritime insecurity and illegal migration. The report stated the continued smuggling of illegal
Let's pause for a cause. I think this is a good cause. We have a Tobago. We have been asking for Tobagonians to call in, so we have a Tobagonian online at this point. Let's go straight there. Pleasant good night, Mr. Silver Fox.
Good night, sir. I was getting some problem when I called first time.
Oh, you was getting a little problem. I thought it would have been at my end, and if it was, you know, because we really revere your presence, representing, of course, Tobago. Go ahead.
Lennox, I'm trying to understand something, and I feel I want you to explain it for me. How these fellas have so much millions in a bank?
How what?
When
How
the
what?
poor man put in $1, they want to know his source of income.
Oh.
I don't understand that at all. Something is had to be wrong, right? And let me say something. We other fella used to talk about the Calcutta ship, right? And like the ship come and take him, and since they take him, PNM losing the election right through in Tobago. Huh? And Lennox, I could tell you how to win that election in Laventille. I could tell you how to take the election. It is an easy process, right? Let me tell you how to win the election in Laventille. You hear me, sir?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Right. Let me tell you how to win. Laventille come like we're dealing with CARICOM, right?
Yes.
A set of different people from different countries inside of there.
Right.
And if when the election time comes, we go to the Caribbean countries and take one person that doing that going around could talk to these people for you.
All right.
Right? And if we get these people to come here, one person from every Caribbean country, and they come on your program and start to talk, these people will change because these people feel Williams do everything for them. Right? And they believe in Williams so much that they send it down to the other generation, the grandchildren and whatever. So these people believe in that they're not even helping themselves. So we have to get that out there. So we have to get these people to come and talk, right? And change these people's mindset. Because Lennox, you're fighting. You have a big heart. I'm telling you that. Right? You have a big heart. Right? And you want to see changes before you even close your eyes. Right? And I know the feelings. When you go to bed, you feel like you might even dream you get changes. But Lennox, as my partner, I don't want to see you, right?
I hear you.
I don't want to see you fighting so hard and poor fella sit down in St. Anne's with a placard on your neck. I am Lennox Smith and vote for me. Right?
All right, my friend. Thank you very much for that advice. And as normal, we speak personally, one-on-one, and I'm sure that you're going to give me the formula that you have in mind. And maybe together, or deploying the right resource, we should be able to make it. And I am confident. I'm very, very confident. Very optimistic. Some say that Lennox, your optimism is misplaced. But I believe that no human being, as is the case with any animal, that would have been abused, hurt, pressured physically and otherwise, mentally, and not one day get fed up and push back. I believe that day will come sooner rather than later now.
We got bring in activists from all them Caribbean countries to talk for we, and we have to get it changed.
Thank you very much, my friend, for that,
friend.
Contribution. Thank you.
All right.
Yes, man. So we have people who are very optimistic as to what we are doing. And once again, I could show you it now. We just got the computer that will be dedicated to the virtual court exercise I spoke to you about. Too many young people in these parts, East Port of Spain, Laventil, Beetham, Sealets, Belmont, have cases before the courts, the criminal courts. They're afraid to go to court because their enemies may be waiting for them. Where they have to go is well known. And while, of course, I expect here to be well known, we have a plan that we can have virtual courts set up. All you need is a computer and put computers in different places, inside a bedroom, inside a restaurant that is willing to assist us and so on, and make sure that we preserve those young people's lives, while they, of course, pay their dues to the society, whether they're found guilty or not. That's a matter for the system. And if because of bad company that they may have kept, but they are innocent, found, then we have to find ways and means to keep them on the straight and narrow. It's 14,000 of them came out of school in July last, Meeting up the 14,000 the July before and the 14,000 before the one that was before this one. Understand what is happening here. So this is not an easy task. It is mind-boggling by itself to comprehend the gravity of the problem. And there must be since they are in mass, there must be a mass response mechanism to, of course, deflect and to direct them into spaces and places where they can make use of opportunities presented to them. It is as simple as that. But on the ground and to roll it out is a complex matter. And unfortunately, no government so far has been able to do what we in Laventille, under the various institutions that we have created, whether it be that of Archbishop Barbara Grayburg, that of Penelope, and she's not from Laventille anyway, so you know it couldn't be she I'm talking about. But certainly, Listra Penny, and so many others in sports, in education, in street children, interventions, etc. And in my case, of course, in vocational training, massive. That is what you need, massive. Not like Heinz. He sponsored or went to a graduation with about six youths in the technology center, and then start to boast as to how much work he doing. When for every 6 of them, you could count, and I'm being conservative here, over 60 for every 60 and counting, if not 160. That's how bad it is. And those are the realities. And the system still find its way to assist only, let's say, Serval and Living Waters and Fields, while programs like these, every night in the community. I remember one time, Umbala, I was in his program once, and it came up that the late Archbishop Pantin was the subject. And he said that, listen, Lennox, what Pantin is doing that you are not doing, let me tell you, and he has the audacity to tell me, as if I didn't know. He said that Pantin walks the street of Laventille, or walk the hill of Laventille, the hills of Laventille. Let me just get a sick call. Come on. Why you know? All right, we have to take it. He said to me, and then I know how ignorant these fellas are, and how misplaced, and how myopic, and how they do not understand the socio-economic dynamics that operates in these places, and therefore they could only be part of the problem and not the solution. Let's go straight to that line again. All right, I think I get it now. Let's see. What's happening here? Yes. All right, it seems that's all lost again. The fact is, he said that Pantin walk the hills of Laventille. Well, I had to turn to him in a very sarcastic way and say, listen, well, if he does walk and he getting all that attention as far as the taxpayers' monies and the private sector attention in terms of assistance, I say, well, I just sleep in Laventille. How come me getting that? How come then he understood what I meant? Because he could have rubbed shoulders with the decision makers and the hoi polloi and the shakers and movers where it matters in the society, those who command the resources of the country. And because Lennox Smith can't, or Archbishop Burke can't, or Listra Penny can't, their program have to flounder and suffocate and emaciate. And if life is generous to them, they may live, of course, to resign in frustration. But of course, we are built of the material, that solid people are made of, knowing full well that at the end of the day we will, just like Felicia, we have to, of course, treat with this matter at the political level. And thus the creation of Laventille Outreach for Vertical Enrichment, registered with EBC, and we say we must take the political power, in order to deliver to our people. That is what this is all about. This is no jokey business. So when he said that Pantin walked the hills of Laventille, and I turn and say, I just sleep there, then he understood that he was talking nonsense. He was talking bull, manure. That's what we are talking. We know, we understand. And anybody who fails to recognize that there are people who know more than them, and they continue, of course, to impose their external solutions or amelioration, will eventually fail, and we will be there to say, we told you so, one, and two, this is how it is done. Because look, Lennox Smith on the air tonight, tomorrow night, except of course on a Friday. That is commitment. It requires that kind of constant attention, like of course a hen and her chicks. That's what is required. Johnny come latelys and persons with their own version as to what is, without of course engaging in what the sociologists call practical or immersive observation and documenting. Can't make. And that has been the problem, especially with the PNM, and of course to a lesser extent with previous UNC and of course NAR administration. I think the NAR would have been much more inclusive and absorbing when they realized that all the so-called solutions that they have for communities like these can't make. And so eventually they call people like yours truly, who will be there waiting. So long as life is present in me, I'll be there waiting. But I want to pause because we are close to, let me just take off my glasses to make sure. Right. Yeah. It's 9:45, yes. 9:45, boy. All right, 1:45. So I will pause this report of the SSA, and just to conclude what I am talking about and to give practicality to it. I want to tell you that very recently, coming out of the Caribbean Certificate examination, the CXC exam in other words, CXC exam, a young man from St. Babs, yes, look him here, let me show you him. There, look him here, young man from St. Babs, went CIC and got 8 1s. A phenomenal achievement indeed. Look him here, home nut, as you would see in Westmoreland and other well-to-do communities, typical Laventille. St. Babs you're talking about, there he is, he and his mother is there hugging when they got the news. Why am I saying this? And concluding my argument, you must remember that Umbala told me that, of course, Pantin walked in Laventille Hills and therefore was preferred and got, of course, the treasury and the businessmen to gravitate to his program. We sleeping in Laventille but can't get such a position. It means, therefore, there is a, what I consider to be disconnect and a fallacy. Fallacy perpetrated, encouraged, and nestled in the minds, in the mindset of those in authority, whether in the private sector, the public sector, or indeed large NGOs that maybe would have been designed to assist communities like these. And they don't need much, because in every sphere it's always much more economical to do and to provide the resources to them. And I will give you the solution in future programs. But I thought I should boast a little bit about this young man. What's his name? Well, let me tell you now. Let me tell you now. His name, of course, is Brandon D'Souza. Got 8 subjects, ones, and of course is the pride of his mother and his community and his neighborhood, etc. But I want to tell you this, that while that is an aberration or a good position for that young man, I am not satisfied. Sorry to say, Lavender, I am not satisfied. You see, that achievement is an exception to the rule. So we glorify and we generate the appropriate accolades, but that's an exception. When next we will get someone with that level of achievement academically? Marcel is a lawyer on the BTM. When next? And my position is very simple. Just as west of Port of Spain, Woodbrook, and north of Port of Spain, St. Anne's, etc., the well-to-do part, where you will see on a daily basis lawyers, doctors, pilots walking the streets, commonplace. It's only then, when that happens to Laverdale, only then I will be satisfied. Not this aberration. It is a start. It is a good thing. But when next? Every exam we must have students like that passing their test with that level of excellence. Yes, my standard is high. My optimism is great. And my tenacity is unlimited. I want to see that. And I do not want to see what I'm going to show you now. You see there? It says 2 teens arrested for robbery. 2 teens arrested for robbery. A 15-year-old and a 16-year-old. So clearly they ought to be, by every stretch of the imagination, still in secondary school. So they're not 18. They're not 17. Well, yes, they're not 17. 16 and a 15-year-old. But what attracted my attention more and drove me, of course, to make sure that we explore this tonight, because tomorrow night are coming again, is that the 15-year-old address, according to the police, is from St. Paul Street. And the 16-year-old is from Laventille. You know what I say? And too frequent. We have that making the news, as opposed, of course, to young. Let me show him again. As opposed to young Brandon D'Souza. Yes. As opposed to him. And that makes me cringe. That makes me irritable. That makes me want to work even harder. Because one, we know they have the capacity, but it's the focus and the conditionalities, the environment that is required, at least conducive to learning, even though there is gunshots around and dog barking, and of course you have little privacy, because you may be living in a planning, for example. But the fact of the matter is that he made it, and tomorrow night we will tell you what he said, how he made it. Nothing different to how I would speak, but let it come from him. He said how he made it. 8 ones. And on the other hand, we have a situation where 2 young men, 15 and 16, held by the police for robbery. One's address is St. Paul Street and the other one Laventille. We have to get more of the D'Souza's among us. Then I will feel comfortable. Understand that. I will end here. But I want you to search your conscience, and if you have some resources, call. Look, the line is there. Call. I will be only too glad to come and pick up. And my assistant, like she don't sleep, so she will answer the phone anytime. Because that is what we are focused upon and looking for. More D'Souza's who made 8 ones in the subjects that he chose for examination, the CXC exam. Having attended CIC, and you would hear him talk about the fact that he lived on box lunch. I don't want people to say box lunch is bad when in fact you have nothing else to give them at home and you try to stigmatize it. No, my son, when he goes to school, he has to eat box lunch because the government provides that. He could say it tasted bad. He could say it tasted different from the school that he went to before. That is irrelevant to me. And even though I could afford it to give him a separate, let's say, contribution, no, I will not. Because this is the environment that speaks to reality. But there are people who are there and can make it and will make it, and all of them can. And whether he becomes a doctor or a lawyer, or a fella becomes a butcher or a farmer or a gardener or a scavenger or a plumber or a mason is irrelevant. What is important is that they become the best plumber, the best architect, the best carpenter. That is what we want. That is what we want. And they themselves will see the value of themselves and therefore make their contribution to their community, their families, and national development. We have come to the end, people. Have a wonderful rest of the night. God bless, and see you, of course, tomorrow morning on the ground report. Andy, Michael, and myself will be around. I don't know if I should play that SSA piece or should I go back to the music? Let's go back to the music, because, of course, I want to let you know that it is a lie when people tell you that you cannot do it. Young people, it is a lie when the big people have persons of influence in the society say that you are destined to be living in Laventille, or Laventille cannot change. All of that. I will not take any more calls. The phone giving some problems. The phone giving problems. So I just not. Let's go back, of course, to the tune that started the program. I'm talking about, of course, Lord Nelson. Who say we can't make it if we try. Anybody say otherwise is a lie. The damn lie. Yes, and somebody said in studio, the devil is a liar. So true.
But if a liar asked me good friend Mackie, it was a big lying competition to see who they will crown as lying champion. Liars from all parts of the West Indies, big shot liars from all them foreign countries. From a field about 1,000 or so entry in 2 days, he boiled down and leave just 3. I had me eye on liar the lion, because I know he does come with some good ones. But they had a younger fella named Debo, come from some village there in Tobago. He say his father is Tobago's best fisherman. Catch a fish a mile wide, 80 feet in span. He had to tight on the boat and swim back to land to get his brother Eric to give him a hand. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie? Teacher Pussy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die.